on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. It is January 17, 2020. This is your official SmackDown on Fox review for tonight's show. We are 9 days away. 9 days away from the Royal Rumble. This show was advertised with Roman Reigns and Bobby Roode. I shall not call him Robert Roode. Bobby Roode. We're going to start calling him by a different name from now on. Have you seen Bobby Roode as of late? He's on that ginger juice, no question. We're going to now call him Ginger Jr. Bobby Roode. What happened? I don't know. Tables match, Roman Reigns, Bobby Roode, Ginger Jr. in the main event, and you knew full and well what the main event was going to result in. The same old garbage that we see every single week. Corbin, Ziggler, the Usos, possibly the Revival. Interference upon interference upon interference upon interference. I feel like I'm watching a bad rerun over and over and over again. So that's what this show was built around. And then we had the special appearance of Mayor Glenn Jacobs. But he was wearing his wrestling attire. Kane. Yeah, that Kane. The Undertaker's brother, Kane. The brother of destruction, Kane. The son of Paul Bearer, Kane. The Big Red Monster, Kane. The Big Red Machine, Kane. 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 I don't know what you want me to say, folks. If that is what you got for SmackDown, I don't know how you want me to be excited about the Royal Rumble. That's 9 days away. What would you like me to say? Would you like me to come on here and be all enthusiastic and wave the flyers, right? You want me to wave the sparklers and just jump for joy? You want me to jump through hoops of fire for you and show you my enthusiasm about another exhilarating episode of SmackDown on Fox? This show sucks. This show absolutely sucks. Fox should be ashamed that they're paying all this money for this show, man. I cannot, for the life of me, get into anything that they're doing on this show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And it's just unbelievable how nothing is changing. Half of the roster on this show is not even being used. And if they are, they're not being used properly. I don't want to come on here and be a repeat episode of Off the Script, but I want to try and get through this in the best way that I can. You guys know the deal. You automatically know the deal. The show sucks every single week. You know before you even hit the play button on the video in your subscription boxes. Even if it's in your subscription boxes. I'm not even sure at this point with the way YouTube is just completely god-awful these days. But you know before you even hear me speak what my attitude is towards this show. And I wish I was honestly anywhere but right here talking about this show. I feel envious about everybody else who might have been out and about and doing whatever you're doing on a Friday night. And here I am. I got to subject myself to this shit. Corey Graves, the funny thing about Corey Graves is he went on his podcast this week and called Monday Night Raw insufferable. He called Monday Night Raw insufferable. He said he watched Monday Night Raw and he started to get angry. I don't know how he doesn't feel that same way about the show that he's actually doing color commentary on, because the show that he's doing color commentary on, I don't know if I am under the weather, but Monday Night Raw has been better than SmackDown. And I am not joking. I didn't stutter my words there. Monday Night Raw has been better than SmackDown. So Corey Graves might have to go back to the drawing board and conjure up some of that same feeling for this show, because this show deserves just as much hatred as he gave Raw on After the Bell. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This is Off the Script. I am JD. If you guys are new around here, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you want to follow me on social media, please do so, man. At JD from NY206. So SmackDown opened up, and we got Kane. And I don't know, I got to look at my calendar, man. It is January 17, 2020. And I feel like I'm back in 1997. Kane shows up on TV. His makeup all fucked up. His mask all wet. You see blood in the color red, signifying blood, I guess, underneath his mask, dripping down his lip. I don't know who asked for Kane on TV, on Fox, on SmackDown, on TV in 2020. I don't know. Now, I honestly thought that this was going to be a lot worse than it really was, and at the end of this thing, I was kind of shocked it wasn't the way I expected it to be. I expected a lot worse from this segment, but it actually made for probably the best segment of the entire show. So Kane made his return to SmackDown. He walked to the ring, and obviously Michael Cole and Corey Graves had to talk about Kane's history in the Royal Rumble. He said that they're 9 days away from his favorite event of the year. Oh, me and Glenn Jacobs have something in common. The Royal Rumble. He said 30 souls will put their mind, their body, and their spirit on the line for the opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to compete at WrestleMania and a chance at immortality. Now, I don't know if he is trying to reenact a scene out of God of War, but this promo was god-awful. Who speaks in the tone and in the manner using the verbiage that he used in this promo? You know, I would like you to be a little bit more humanized. You know, you're not the same Kane that you were. My name is Kane. I am going to kill my brother, the Undertaker. We're not getting that Kane. You know, I don't even like when the Undertaker starts talking and cutting promos in the way that he does his promos. I'm coming back to the WWE, and I'm going to dig some holes and take some souls. It's awful. Speak to me as a human being, please. We're over the theatrics. My God. He said the same thing that The Undertaker would say. I'm going to take 30 souls, and I will put their mind, their body, and their spirit on the line for an opportunity. Immortality. Come on. I'm not 4 years old anymore, Vince. Give me a break. Chance to compete at WrestleMania, blah, 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 blah. Talked about watching the eyes of his opponents as he tossed them over the top rope, and their WrestleMania dreams turned into a nightmare, all because of me. He left in a very fake manner and said it was a lot of fun. Too bad this show is not fun. It's anything but fun. So obviously he mentioned fun, and then, right on cue, next scene, please. The Firefly Funhouse showed up on the Titantron. Bray Wyatt showed up on the big screen. Oh, Kane, look at you. You haven't changed a bit. Probably say the same thing about this fucking show. He shamed him for feeling joy at other people's misery. He called him a big red bully. He asked him to apologize. Kane was just staring at him. Bray said he hopes he didn't run into much traffic from the HE double hockey sticks. Hell. Took me a little bit to conjure that one up in my caffeinated state. I was much rather enjoying my cup of coffee than listening to this fucking garbage. So Rambling Rabbit is just fine. Of course he is. How could you kill Rambling Rabbit? That's like a no-no. Can't do that. He showed him he's got an IV full of carrot juice. There's a nice little carrot emoji on the IV bag. He's shown just sit in the corner, sucking away at his IV. Said the winner of the Rumble shouldn't be foolish enough to challenge for the Universal title at WrestleMania. Cue Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will be foolish enough to challenge for the Universal Championship. Or will he? Or won't he, I should say. He won't be foolish because he's the one that's going to make Bray Wyatt look like the fool. He then pointed to a picture of Kane framed on the wall in the Funhouse with his eyes blacked out. He said, that means you and the Fiend got it on. I just envisioned Chris Farley in that moment. You know? Good old Tommy Boy. Or Black Sheep, whichever movie you prefer. I enjoyed both. Tommy Boy was obviously the better of the two. And what was that movie he did with that fucking guy from Friends? I forgot the name of that movie, man. They were like on an exploration venture. I forgot the fucking name of it, man. That movie was hilarious with Chris Farley. I think that was the last movie he made before he died. And that movie was fantastic. Oh, you guys got to go and watch. I can't think of the name. It's not going to come to me. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, you got to go and watch it. Anyway, he then talked like the Fiend, and we seen him get angry, and he said he'll never forget him. And we've seen clips that aired of Bray Wyatt and Kane in the past, several of them being Inferno matches, and neither will he. So the lights obviously started going out in the arena. We heard the creepy Fiend noises. Kane looked around. He was outside the ring when the lights came on, and then Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, started to show up through the ring. Same old here, nothing new. Same old theatrics. Kane was standing at ringside. The Fiend came up through the canvas behind Kane. So the fans were yelling at Kane to turn around. He did turn around. He stared at him, and he took the microphone and said to the Fiend, "What took you so long?" So Daniel Bryan then came from behind the Fiend and gave him the big running knee. He stomped on him a few times in the mask while holding his arms up. Fiend retreated into the hole, and Bryan started punching away. All of a sudden, we see fog come out of the hole in the ring, and Bryan was yanking at him into the hole. He comes up, and he had pulled 2 strands of braids from the Fiend's head. Yes chants ensued in the arena. Kane got in the ring and did the yes chants with Daniel Bryan, and that was pretty much it. I enjoyed this segment for what it was. Kane was there. It set up Bryan and the Fiend. Kane, I don't know if him talking about the Royal Rumble means he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. I assume he's going to be, being that he came out here tonight and said, this is my favorite match, so it makes no sense for him not to be in the Royal Rumble. I guess he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. We didn't get an official confirmation. He didn't outwardly say, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble like everybody else kind of just threw their name into the Royal Rumble. So I'm assuming he's in the match, even though we didn't really hear him say those words. So we'll figure that out later in the week. I'm assuming he is. But this was good. This was better than I expected it to be. Backstage, Kane and Bryan were bickering about their time as tag team champions. Kayla Braxton then asked Bryan about having the Fiend on the run. Kane said he had to go, so Bryan stayed and talked to Kayla. Bryan asked how he can beat someone who disappears every time he's in trouble. He then said, I have an idea. It's not a good idea, and it's really not a smart idea. I challenged the Fiend to a strap match at the Royal Rumble. Now, I don't know how many strap matches have been in the WWE. There's been a few. I don't even remember the last time we've seen a strap match in the Royal Rumble. The one match that comes to my mind is Savio Vega and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, he was Steve Austin with the $1 Million Man. And it was a strap match at In Your House, Beware of Dog. I think there was another strap match after that, obviously. Years later down the line with Triple H and The Rock, I believe, at Fully Loaded, 1999, if I'm not mistaken. I'm terrible with these types of events because there's just so many to remember. I think that was a strap match. But after that, I don't remember there ever being a strap. Well, John Cena and Umaga was a strap match, no? Or was that that might have been a strap match. I don't even know, man. Strap matches can be fun if booked the right way. And he wants a strap match with The Fiend. He said he's done with the mind games and him disappearing every time he gets in trouble. He said The Fiend changed him, but at the Rumble, he's going to change The Fiend and win the Universal Championship. You know, they're really making it difficult for you to cheer The Fiend here in this situation. Daniel Bryan is not as over as he was with the Yes Movement, but he is on his way to being the most over babyface in the realm of SmackDown and Raw. And it's very difficult to look at him and then not want him to succeed. I would love if it's Bryan that beat The Fiend. because I just think it fits better than Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns just looks and just sounds forced. Oh, yeah, we're going to put Roman in the Fiend. What's going to happen there? You think the Fiend's going to walk out of Tampa with the Universal Championship? Give me a fucking break. I would rather the good guy win here, and that's Daniel Bryan. But this strap match, I'm thinking about it, and it could be good. It could be good, and I like the symbolism behind it. I think it's really, really simple, and it works. The Fiend has literally outsmarted everybody. He disappears into the darkness, and you don't know what he is. He's always one step ahead of everybody. And Bryan's thinking that, if I tie this guy to me and he's tied to me, he ain't going anywhere because I'm not going to allow him to go anywhere. He's not going to run. He's not going to be able to run. He's not going to be able to disappear into the darkness. He's not going to be able to disappear underneath the ring, blah, blah, blah. So I like the symbolism there, and I like the simplicity of it, and I like Bryan's mentality in this. So we'll see what happens. And he did say, I don't think that this is his master plan and his formula to beat the Fiend, but I'm very curious to know what Daniel Bryan has in the back of his mind, that secret weapon on how to beat the Fiend. I don't think that we were given any more glimpse into that on this show, but the strap match is definitely an interesting choice. It's a throwback to the old school. You don't really see strap matches anymore. And the last time we heard about a strap match was on Dynamite. Oh, not a strap match, but lashes on Dynamite. It seems to be, I doubt that there's any correlation between the two, but it's just funny how, Cody's going to get 10 lashes on Dynamite, and then we're going to get lashes on The Fiend and Daniel Bryan in 9 days at the Royal Rumble. So, there were obviously people making correlations to that. They don't have anything to do with one another. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. It's just quite the coincidence that this old school gimmick is now both on AEW and WWE television going on into the end of January. Big E interrupted Graves by introducing himself and Kofi Kingston down to the ring. It was supposed to be Big E and John Morrison going one-on-one. John Morrison, he looks great. I don't know how old he is, but he still looks pretty damn impressive. He can still do everything that you anticipate from John Morrison. He still is as athletic as John Morrison was. We even got the slow motion entrance tonight. That was awesome. That was really nice. So, towards the end of this thing, Miz got involved, obviously. And we had the Miz jump onto the ring apron. And he was distracting the match from continuing. The referee was there, and then obviously Big E was distracted by this. Kofi Kingston comes over, who has a new hairstyle. He's got long blonde dreads now. So he pulls the Miz off of the ring apron, and then he shoves him into the steel steps. John Morrison is up top. He's looking to dive onto Big E, but he smirks and says, fuck Big E, and he does some twisting dive that I'm sure he learned from Charlotte Flair, and he jumps off the top rope to the outside, and he nails Kofi Kingston in the face with his knee, barely. So that was that. Big move there, high risk, and he didn't get all of it, but it looked impressive in execution. As far as the landing, could have been a little bit better. So back in the ring, we see Starship Pain. Big E is on the ground, and Starship Pain to follow for the win. And Morrison, I don't know what it is, man. You got to practice that, bro. I mentioned on social media, and I ruffled some feathers because that's what I do, apparently. I'm just getting my opinion out there, and people got to challenge me on every fucking thing that I say. All I said was that Starship Pain is one of the dumbest and most less impactful finishers that I've ever seen. And it's just awful. It's one of the worst finishers in the entire company. And people are arguing with me about this. Oh, no, it's not. What are you looking at? I'm looking at a guy that overshot his finishing move. I'm looking at a finishing move that has 0 on the impact scale. That's what I'm looking at. So why are you arguing with me over Starship Pain? He hits it maybe 2 out of 10 times. That's a 200 batting average. That gets you to the bench in my, on my team, in my dugout. I don't know about you guys. Starship Pain sucks. When I think of finishing moves, I think of Black Mass, or I think of an RKO, or I think of An End of Days by Baron Corbin. It's probably the best thing in his arsenal, you know? Or I think of a Goldberg spear. Something. This finishing move sucks. And every time he does it, it's like more than likely he's going to miss it or overshoot it. He barely touched Big E and he pinned Big E. When I look at a finishing move, I think impact. I don't look at that and say, well, that's the end of the match. Man, he ain't getting up from that. I'm like, that's it? Come on. You guys got to think about that one, man. Starship Pain, either do that and do it correctly and, I don't know, maybe move him a little bit back further so you have a better chance of hitting it correctly, or just change the finishing move altogether. Why don't you just do a corkscrew fucking splash off the second rope? Get rid of it. It's awful. He wins. He looked good. And John Morrison's back on SmackDown. There you go. Pretty much no excitement there. I'm assuming this is going to result in a tag team title match, being that Morrison now pinned Big E, who's one half of the tag team champions. I'm expecting that to happen maybe at the Royal Rumble. So we'll see what happens there. Backstage, the Usos suggested to Reigns that he chooses the stipulation that the loser eats dog food at the Royal Rumble. Apparently, this was something that WWE just thrown together. And it was supposed to be a table match. And apparently, they added the stipulation that whoever loses the table match tonight, or whoever wins the tables match, I should say, is going to choose the stipulation between Corbin and Reigns. So if Reigns won, he gets to pick the stipulation in his match against Baron Corbin at the Royal Rumble. If Bobby Roode won, then he gets to choose the stipulation for Baron Corbin. Or he gets, I guess he wins and Baron Corbin is able to choose the stipulation for the Royal Rumble. That's the way they laid it out to be. So the Usos are like, well, if you win, you should have Baron Corbin eat dog food. So I'm assuming that was going to be the case. And they've been doing that and practicing that. And Baron Corbin has been kind of owning up to the fact that he's got to get used to dog food on the house show circuit. So I figured that they would do that in Houston at Minute Maid Park. But that wasn't the case. Reigns said that he's going to make them wait like everybody else. And that's going to happen later in the show. So that was pretty much it. Usos then cut a brief promo about facing Dash and Dawson, but Reigns finished their catchphrase. They said, welcome. And then Reigns said, to the Uso Penitentiary. Usos versus The Revival. This was a tag team match that went pretty much nowhere. I've seen better from these two teams. Another thing that people argued with me over on SmackDown, or about SmackDown on Twitter. Can you imagine the Usos being away from WWE for 6 months? 6 months. And I do believe that they were feuding with The Revival in the very last stages of their hiatus, right before they went on hiatus. They were feuding with The Revival. You guys remember the Usi Hot and all the fucking jackass pranks that they were playing on each other? Watching The Revival shave each other's back in the bathroom. Imagine being the Usos being away for 6 months, feuding with The Revival before they go out on their hiatus. Then they come back refreshed, and their first match back is against The Revival. I'm trying to think how that makes any sense or why anybody would be for that. And I just draw a blank, and people are arguing with me on social media. Well, I don't mind that these teams go at it. They're two of the best teams in the business. Meanwhile, they're not thinking. They don't understand why I say the things that I say. They jump to conclusion. They automatically think that I'm shitting on the show just for the sake of shitting on the show. Why would you want to see these two teams battle it out no matter how good they are again? We've been force-fed this shit time and time and time again. You do realize that this uncovers one huge flaw in the tag team division. They have nobody else in the division to feud with but themselves. So why am I going to sit there and say, oh man, I can't wait for the Usos in The Revival? We've seen it already. And what is WWE going to do when the Usos beat The Revival? They're going to go on to the New Day. And then we're going to get the same fucking thing over and over and over again with the Usos and the New Day. Meanwhile, there's no tag team division for the Usos to go up against. There's nobody in the division for them to challenge at all. I take a heavy machinery match against the Usos. I'd take anything but the Usos and the Revival. Why would I be interested in that? We've seen it already. You guys got to think before you type on social media. All negativity is not bad. I'm trying to bring to you the flaws of the show. I'm trying to bring to you the things that don't make sense, and then I get fucking shit on for it. This does nothing for the tag team division. This just shows me that they don't want to try to build a tag team division. Usos win with a very nice splash on Dawson, or Dash rather. Jimmy landed the frog splash on Dash in the middle of the ring. That was pretty much it. The Usos win in 6 minutes. So Dash and Dawson complained to Caleb Braxton after the match that the company doesn't care about them. So they'll have to make a change. I don't know what that has to do with them losing. I wish they'd make a change, and that change is to become elite. Seriously. So I'm thinking about this, and they're complaining that they have to make a change. And then Kayla's like, do you think that change needs to come in the form of, a tag team division or whatever the fuck she said? And you see the frustration on Dash and Dawson. And it makes me wonder, and it actually makes me a little bit afraid, that they're bringing their frustrations from social media, and they're bringing their frustrations and how they really feel to TV because they're possibly on the verge of re-signing with the WWE. When I see this shit taking form and taking shape on TV, when I see their frustrations being mentioned on TV, which we all know are legit frustrations, it makes me wonder if they are really going to re-sign with the WWE and they're going to make this into some storyline. And then they'll be fools for it because they'll probably have a 2-3 month storyline here. The WWE will probably show them that, yeah, we're working on the tag team division. And then soon as they get comfortable in that new 5-year contract, then WWE is going to go right back to doing what they did with the Revival all along. And that's not push them. And that's not what I want to see from the Revival. It's not what I want to see for the Revival. Now, off the script, if you guys missed any of my videos, please go and check it out in the description. Got a ton of shit down there for you guys. All the playlists of all my most important series on the channel are linked right there. Go and check everything out. On tomorrow's show, on Off the Script, I get into a very heated rant about the Revival, man, because the Revival, they even said on social media before SmackDown, a couple of days ago, actually, that they were both going to take a break and they need to rethink things. Don't know what that means. I can only assume that means rethink about what they want as far as their future goes. But this is not them taking a break. I don't know. And Sean Ross Sapp reported that WWE is literally throwing everything at the Revival in hopes that they stay. So that led to a much heated rant on Off the Script tomorrow. So that's something you guys got to look forward to on the podcast tomorrow at 5 p.m. Quickly, guys, before we get into the next segment of the show, which was Mandy Rose and Otis, and then Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and Sonya Deville wanting Otis to be out there for her match. Quickly, I just want to make sure you guys are aware that tonight's show is sponsored by Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys killed December, man, and I want to do the same thing for January. Use our link, sign up, get 30 days free of their service, and get one free audio book of your choice. I have to push Mayor Kane because he was on the show tonight. If you guys want that new autobiography by Glenn Jacobs, Mayor Kane, My Life in Wrestling and Politics, you guys can get that on Audible for free. Retail price is $30. You guys can get it for free using our link. 8 hours of audiobook narrated by Glenn Jacobs himself. You guys also have Dylan Postal's new book available. That's Hornswoggle. He's got a new audiobook out as well, also narrated by him. Or if you guys don't want either of those, you can pre-order Jim Ross's new book coming out at the end of March, Under the Black Hat. And you guys can get that right now for free. Pre-order it for free. And when it's available, it'll be downloadable on your device of choice. That's audibletrial.com/offthescript. Man, make sure you guys show some Audible some support here on Off the Script. So we see Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville in the back, and they say 2020 will be the year of fire and desire. Deville asked if Rose would ask Otis if he could be at ringside for her match tonight against Alexa Bliss. Rose says that she will be at ringside, not Otis. So why does Sonya Deville need Otis at ringside? Deville said she saw what she did for Otis last week and she gets what's going on. Rose didn't quite get it, but she agreed to ask Otis for her. Deville said, sure, if Rose asks Otis, Otis will indeed do what you say. So Sonya Deville gets the impression that Mandy Rose is buttering up Otis to give her an advantage for when she's out there in the ring. That's what this pretty much is leading to. Sonya Deville thinks that Mandy Rose is using Otis and befriending Otis and being sweet to Otis to get him to pretty much do what she wants and use him to her advantage to win matches. That's what I got out of that segment. So as we see this happening with Sonya and Mandy Rose, backstage, Sasha told Bayley, screw Lacey Evans, she doesn't deserve a match with me. That is actually a shoot, folks. That is a shoot. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Sasha says that Lacey Evans doesn't deserve a match with me. She is 100% correct on that assessment. She said she's working on her album, raising her stock, and she could use the rest. Now, apparently, we got Sasha and Bayley were attacked after this Mandy and Sonya segment. There was a big backstage brawl. There was brawling all over the place. Apparently, Lacey Evans just came out of nowhere and attacked Sasha Banks for no reason tonight. They were supposed to have a match. She couldn't wait to get in the ring, so she figured, let me attack her before the match starts anyway. So in the trainer's room, this is where Sasha's saying all this shit. She could use the rest. I'm working on my album. I'm using this company to further my star. Blah, 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 blah. So Bayley said she doesn't care if she's a mom or a Marine. If she sees her, she's going to break every bone in her body. Tough words there by Bayley, the one who used to hug for a living. In walked WWE executive Adam Pearce. He told Sasha that they've been delaying Sasha's match way too much, so a match is happening, but Bayley is taking her place. Pearce said the title isn't on the line, but they're fighting, and that's happening next. So I got what WWE was doing here immediately, so much so that I tweeted 20 minutes before we seen the conclusion of this match with Bayley and Lacey Evans. So, folks, let me fill you in here. Lacey Evans and Sasha Banks has been booked last week. It didn't happen. It was booked this week. It didn't happen. It shouldn't happen, period. Lacey Evans doesn't deserve to be in the ring with Sasha Banks. That is god-awful. I would be terrified to know what the outcome would be if Lacey is in the ring with Sasha. WWE would probably have Lacey go over Sasha, and then Sasha's credibility would go right out the window. And then she would probably question why she even came back to begin with, because that's just awful. Lacey Evans should not be beating Sasha Banks in WWE at this point in her career. I'm sorry. So WWE used this sneak attack in the back to take Sasha Banks, quote-unquote, out. From what I know, Sasha Banks is not injured. From what I know, Sasha Banks just might not want to be there. From what I see and hear, Sasha Banks might really be working on a rap album, which I think she is. And she doesn't really want to do anything to jeopardize that. Wants to wait till that finishes and then get back to doing the pro wrestling thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll be gifted one of these explanations somewhere in the next couple of days. I don't know. I'm glad she's not mixed in with this terrible storyline more than she has to be. Because I don't want anything to come down on her where it makes her look weak. She doesn't deserve that. So WWE used this sneak attack to take Sasha Banks out of here because maybe Sasha Banks didn't want to lose to Lacey Evans. I would not blame that woman at all if that's the way she felt. Maybe WWE realized, and I don't think that this is the case, maybe WWE realized, we shouldn't be beating Sasha Banks in this situation. I doubt it, but stranger things have been the case in WWE. So Sasha Banks is not in this thing. They put Bayley in this thing. And this was WWE's way of justifying a Royal Rumble women's title match for Lacey Evans. So if she beat Bayley on SmackDown tonight, then that makes the match at the Royal Rumble pretty much confirmed. That's the way you get Lacey Evans a women's title match. Why would you have her beat Sasha Banks and then beat Bayley and then get a title match? They're 9 days away. They're 9 days away from the Royal Rumble. They got one more show before the Royal Rumble. So they figured, we'll have her beat Bayley in a non-title match, and then we'll book the match at the Royal Rumble. So that's that. This is WWE's cheap way of getting Lacey Evans a championship match at the Royal Rumble. That's all that is. So we go from this to Lacey Evans and Bayley. This went 11 minutes. What did I do? I got up. I changed my trash can in the living room, or the kitchen, rather. Changed my trash can in the kitchen. I did some dishes. I took the recycling out. I scooped some cat shit. I swept my floor of excess cat litter. I used my pet vac to vacuum my couch. I Febrezed my couch. I went to go take a leak. I made myself a cup of iced coffee. And then the match was over. That's what I did during this match. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. I'm as serious as a Roman Reigns push on SmackDown Live. Lacey Evans wins in 11 minutes, and my tweet ended up being Nostradamus-like. I was correct, as usual. The Messiah of the YWC has spoken! Lacey Evans is the most boring female in the entire WWE at the moment. So much so that I take Alexa Bliss over Lacey Evans, and that's just on the sheer way of I'd rather look at Alexa Bliss than Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is fucking god-awful. I don't know what it is about her. I cannot buy into her. I'm not invested in what she's doing as a character. She's just boring. Everything about this feels fucking forced. It's not genuine. But what does this company know about genuine? Nothing about this company speaks genuine. Lacey Evans is being forced into this role. She's being forced into a championship match. She's going to be forced into a championship reign. Now, I pray to the fucking gods. I pray to the WrestleMania gods that if you're going to book a women's championship match for SmackDown, that it's Bayley and Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. And Lacey Evans is not a part of it. But I don't think WWE's going that route. I really don't. In fact, I don't know what the women's championship match at WrestleMania is going to be for SmackDown. Nothing about this woman is resonating to me. Nothing. Her reactions are dry and weak. Another forced reaction from this, Southern crowd here tonight. Come on. Nothing she does is entertaining. Bayley owned the majority of this match. You expect me to buy into Lacey Evans making a babyface comeback when she's not even a full-fledged babyface? She can't even do that right. She's not getting babyface reactions. What do you want me to jump off my fucking couch like I would for Johnny Gargano? For Lacey Evans? Come on. This shit is absolutely fucking disgusting to even watch on a weekly basis. And why is she getting pushed? Why is she getting pushed? I'll give you one fucking guess. Look at the color of her hair. That's all you need to know. Lacey Evans wins with a women's right. Oh, joy. I can't wait for the match at the Royal Rumble that I just seen tonight. I seen 11 minutes of this match, Vince, tonight on SmackDown. What makes you think that I'm going to be excited for it at the Royal Rumble? We got a new lady, new woman, a new interviewer, Elise Ashton, doing the SmackDown backstage interviewing. Because I'm sure they hired her on her great work, right? What did I say? When you see a male in this role, then you can come to me and tell me I'm wrong. Why did they hire her? I wonder why. She's not blonde, though, which I'm surprised by. Anyway, she interviewed Shorty G. I'm sure she's a lovely woman. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure she's very talented as well. She asks why Sheamus singled him out. It makes me wonder, am I the only one who thinks this? They get these new interviewers, Elise Ashton, right? She's asking Shorty G about Sheamus and, the attacks on him from Sheamus the last couple weeks. They just throw these women. This is her first week, literally, with that we've seen her on SmackDown. And she's talking like she knows the entire fucking roster. She's talking like she knows the entire premise of what's going on between Chad Gable and Sheamus. Did I call him Shorty G? Oh my God, I gotta take a step back. I apologize. I slipped up. No slave name. We will not call him that. Chad Gable. Chad Gable, I got to get my mind right. I'll give myself one of these. Where is it? There you go. I lost. I'll come back next year, Bob Barker. I'm sorry. Or Drew Carey, who the fuck is hosting that show. Can I go spin the wheel? Anyway, it makes me wonder how these women know the fucking show, right? Are they filled in? Do they watch tape before they get thrown out there? Oh, that's right. They're just given a fucking script to memorize. They don't even know who Chad Gable is or what a Sheamus is or what Rise Above Size is. Yeah, I'll show you later in the hotel room. Come to room 108, honey. I'll show you what Rise Above Size is. Anyway, she interviewed Chad Gable. You can see how much I give a shit about this review. She asked why Sheamus singled him out. Shorty G said Sheamus was projecting his own insecurities at him. I can make a joke there, but I'll refrain. He said he attacked him when he already was down, but his games won't work on him. Said he learned that when you accept who you are and embrace it, you've already won the hardest battle. Yeah, I was ready to accept you as a Olympic gold medalist or an Olympian athlete, right? You're an amateur wrestler. I accepted you as that. I would have loved if you embraced that. Not the fact that you want to be a sixth string for a fucking high school basketball team. Which I still can't get over. So, he says, if you embrace that, you've already won the hardest battle. He said he'll teach Sheamus that lesson. He said he knows Sheamus is one of the most decorated athletes WWE has. In walked Sheamus pretending he couldn't see Chad Gable. Where are you? Oh, there you are. The same shit. Making short jokes. So, Chad Gable grabbed him. Sheamus said, some saying that I couldn't make out. I didn't even know what the fuck he was saying at this point. I just put gibberish. I put in my notes, Sheamus says gibberish. And whatever the case may be, Chad Gable attacked him, threw him into some production crates, and then he fled. That was pretty much it. Sheamus threw a fit and knocked over some equipment, maybe some catering materials there. I don't know. But he was very angry that Chad Gable did what he did to him here tonight on SmackDown. So then they booked a match at the Royal Rumble. Chad Gable versus Sheamus at the Royal Rumble, which is kind of odd. I don't know why we're getting that at the Royal Rumble and not on SmackDown. Doesn't really scream pay-per-view match to me, but I guess it's the Royal Rumble. Why not? You know? Then I know I'll get some cretin in the comment section. Why are you complaining? Chad Gable's on a pay-per-view match. Yeah, okay. But I would much rather see it on SmackDown than I would at the Royal Rumble. Whatever you could have did, you could have took with these guys and have it happen in the Royal Rumble and then give us the match. Is that so difficult? Or am I just out of my mind? Maybe I'm too smart and logical for these people. Why do we need the match at the Royal Rumble when you could have them go at it in the Royal Rumble and then book a one-on-one match? Doesn't really speak Royal Rumble match to me. I don't know. WWE Backstage was promoted. Becky Lynch would join Paige, Christian, and Renee Young. I guess CM Punk is just a non-entity on this show. I mean, they're accumulating some of their lowest ratings ever for WWE Backstage. You would think that they would promote CM Punk being on the fucking show next week. Right? The fuck did you bring him in there for if you're not going to promote him? Or maybe they're upset that he called The Miz a dork and told him to go to Saudi Arabia and suck a blood money cock for WWE. Maybe Vince didn't like that so much and he's not promoting CM Punk anymore. I don't know. But it's not stopping you from putting out ice cream sandwiches though, right? Fucking ridiculous. Kayla Braxton interviewed Braun Strowman. She brought up the Royal Rumble. He says he's excited for the Royal Rumble and declaring him a participant or declaring himself a participant. Oh, joy. Oh, joy. I can't wait to see Brock Lesnar fucking ruin you again for a second time. After that, what was that? No Mercy? Yeah. You know, the pay-per-view No Mercy in which you fought Brock Lesnar, which you should have won, and WWE fucked you over? Yeah, that match. I can't wait to see him get eliminated by Lesnar in about 16 seconds. So he's in the Royal Rumble. Great. Like we didn't really expect Braun Strowman to be in the Royal Rumble, right? He said first things first, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn. He said he's pinned him twice and that should earn him an opportunity at the Intercontinental title. You would think. I hope not, but I know it's coming. He said he wants his opportunity this week in Greensboro or next week in Dallas or anytime, any place. I hope it never happens. Anytime, any place. Elias was in the ring with his guitar. I'm enjoying babyface Elias. He said he needs to be honest with everybody. He said over the last year he's learned a lot about himself. He said he can't do everything on his own, even though he is the embodiment of WWE. The truth is, I need you, he said. He said he wrote a little song this morning called Walking in Greensboro. So he strummed his guitar and fans were clapping. I was walking in Greensboro. You'll never guess what I saw. And then suddenly Shinsuke Nakamura's music hits. He comes out to interrupt. Just like the old school days, Elias used to play and then interruption. So Sammy came out, told the fans that, anybody who's clapping along to shut their mouths. He ranted about how Strowman wants a shot at the IC title. Said Nakamura doesn't back down from a fight, but the answer is absolutely not. So he just, pretty much contradicted himself in that slight instance there, Sami Zayn. Gotta love Sami Zayn. It's one of the best parts of the show. He called Strowman a stupid oaf and said that he has no position to demand anything. We call the shots around here. We dictate the terms around here. And with the Royal Rumble match just 9 days away, he is looking at a man who actually won the Royal Rumble match once. He pointed at Nakamura. Because, the greatest Royal Rumble doesn't count. So that's why he pointed at Nakamura. If you didn't watch, you would never realize that there was a greatest Royal Rumble. So if WWE doesn't want to make mention of these shows, then why even bother having them? Oh yeah, for the green, for the money. Said the entire WWE roster are all officially being put on notice. Elias said he was multitasking while Sammy was talking, listening and writing a song at the same time. He said it's called Sami Zayn Needs to Shut His Damn Mouth. So Elias said the fans can help him with the chorus, and he says the chorus is simple, so sing along with me. Shinsuke sucks is the chorus. So Elias began playing. Sammy started yelling before he could say anything. How dare you? How dare you? So they attacked Elias, or Cesaro did anyway. So then the rest of them come in and attack. Strowman made the save and cleared the ring of all three guys. And that's pretty much it. So I'm liking Elias in this babyface run. I don't know where it goes, but I'm enjoying it. So I hope WWE doesn't keep him at a certain point and then it gets boring. I'd like to see him do a little bit more because right now I'm enjoying what he's doing. On this show alone, we got Bryan and the Fiend, which is on and off some weeks, mostly on, but sometimes off. That's probably a good thing that I could say that SmackDown is delivering right now. We got Mandy and Otis, and then we got Elias. It's pretty good. Sami Zayn is good at what he does, but he's not really there every single week, and Nakamura really isn't anything all that special because WWE really hasn't done anything with him at all, or the title. So Elias is actually up there as being one of the slight positives on SmackDown. We see a great video package or tribute package to Rocky Johnson. Rest in peace there. That was really great. And they showed clips of The Rock at the Hall of Fame and him teaming with his father. So it was really good stuff there. Sonya Deville with Mandy Rose versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Sonya and Otis. One of the better things on this show, like I mentioned. This was a Matt classic. This was a 5-star gem. This will be on everybody's list as one of the best women's matches of the entire year. Said nobody ever. Alexa Bliss wins in 3 minutes here. She couldn't wait to get to the back and make herself a hot cup of caramel macchiato. I don't know why I keep mentioning caramel macchiatos. I could always use one. I got to start incorporating different coffee drinks for Alexa Bliss. What do you like, Americano? Caramel macchiato, cafe latte, chai latte? What do you like, a frappuccino? What do you like? Everything bagel with cream cheese? Toasted, not toasted? What do you want? Starbucks days. Anyway. So Mandy Rose is out here. And she climbs to the top rope. She's trying to interject herself into this match to help Sonya Deville win. Climbs to the top rope. Nikki Cross sees this. She shoves Mandy Rose off the top rope from interfering in the match. Down below, Otis catches Mandy Rose. Catches her in his arms. Like a fairy tale fucking ending. Right? Some Cinderella-like shit. And then he starts doing this weird thing with his tongue that I will not reiterate here because this is a family-oriented channel and I don't want to give off a bad vibe here on the channel. So in his arms is Mandy Rose, and Bliss then rolled up a distracted Deville for a 3 count. So Otis was out there, and instead of helping Sonya Deville, he cost Sonya Deville. So this could be seeds planted for a Sonya and Mandy Rose split because she's more occupied with Otis than she is with her own tag team partner after she said Fire and Desire is going to have a 2020 to remember. I don't know. Backstage, Bobby Roode was pulling stretch bands given to him by Jinder Mahal. That Jinder diet is coming in handy for Mr. Roode. So King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler walked in. Corbin said Reigns never saw him coming last week. Ziggler said after what Reigns did to him last week, he's going to get him back tonight just like he did last week. Roode said tonight he's putting the big dog through a table and give Corbin the chance to pick the stipulation at the Rumble. Corbin says he wants a match where he can humiliate Reigns and take him completely out of the Rumble match. He wants a match that forced Reigns to bow down to him. I'm like, I wonder if they're going to go with the old school method of Jerry the King Lawler and Bret the Hitman Hart at the King of the Ring, 1990, what was it, 94 or 95? The Kiss My Foot match, that was awful. That was absolutely, it was 96. One of them years, I don't know. Kiss My Foot match. Remember when Jerry the King Lawler was stinking up his foot? He didn't clean his foot for like months on end, and you finally seen him in the match. He unlifts his sock. It's all green and moldy. Oh, that's what I thought they'd do here. Throw back to that. But obviously they did not, as you've seen in the last match, which we go to. Roman Reigns and Bobby Roode tables match. This one went 13 minutes. The crowd was into this thing. I don't know why. This really didn't do anything to excite me whatsoever. So fast forward to this thing. We got Roode and Reigns. They're battling it out on the second rope. A table is set up, teasing who's going through the table. King Corbin is out there because before we went to commercial break, he was carried out by his goon parade. So all of a sudden, Ziggler comes in and gives Reigns a super kick. Because there's no DQ. There's no DQ here in this tables match. So we got Roode, Corbin, and Ziggler, as always, triple teaming Reigns. No DQ in this tables match. So they put Reigns on the announce desk at ringside. Roode climbed the top rope. Then the Usos came out. And where were they before all of this started to happen? They should have been out there when Bobby Roode had King Corbin come down and interject himself into this thing and stand in his corner. They want to pick their time when they come out, and it makes no sense. Soon as Corbin was out there, the Usos should have come out and protected Roman Reigns from this fuckery. It just looks stupid. So, Ziggler's in there. Roode climbed to the top rope. Reigns is on the announce desk. Usos ran out for the save. They super kicked Roode out of midair. Then they super kicked Ziggler and Corbin off the ring apron. Then they dove on top of them, sending them to the ringside barricade. Usos put Ziggler on the announce desk and then walked on top of the barricade behind the commentary table and did a double splash to Dolph Ziggler through the announce table, taking him out. And back in the ring, we see Reigns spearing Roode through the table in the corner to win. Michael Cole yells at the end, the big dog is picking the stip at the Royal Rumble. Is it going to be dog food? Is it going to be a kiss my foot match? A kiss my ass match? What is it going to be? Reigns says at the Rumble's in a baseball stadium, so he's going to whip his ass all over the place in a false count anywhere match, and that's the way SmackDown ended. Folks, you want to know why we're getting a false count anywhere match with Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin at the Royal Rumble? I don't even know why it's happening at the Royal Rumble to begin with. Please, Vince McMahon hates us all. That's the reason why it's happening. Please spare me from this utter garbage. The reason why we're getting a false count anywhere match, folks, because that's the only way WWE could get us to fucking physically care or show any type of emotion whatsoever for whatever Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin are doing on TV. If it was a one-on-one standard wrestling match, nobody's going to give a shit. If it's dog food, it would have been something that the internet shit all over. And you don't really want to start your first pay-per-view off in 2020 with some fucking childlike stipulation like, oh, loser eats dog food. Even though I'm sure Vince McMahon would get a fucking nice chuckle out of that. The only reason why it's a false count anywhere match is because it's the only way people could emit any type of emotion for this complete, irrelevant garbage featuring Reigns and Baron Corbin. That's that. I'm getting out of here, and that's your SmackDown review. This show is, like it usually is, lifeless. I am not interested in anything on this show like I am with anything else that I'm doing. By the time Friday comes, I'm done. I so wish this show was back on Tuesday. I really do. I genuinely wish this show was back on Tuesday. I can't stand it being on Friday. By the time Friday comes, I want to get off the script done and over with, and I don't want to think about anything until Monday night, where I'm depressed all over again. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so very much. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. Every playlist you need is down in the description. Go and check all that stuff out down in the description. Make sure you guys support the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. And make sure you check out Off the Script earlier this afternoon, man. Great show. Probably my favorite Off the Script of the entire year so far. Go and check it out. 2 hours of audio for you guys today. So you guys got a lot of stuff to catch up on before I'm right back here on Saturday afternoon with Off the Script 309 part number 2. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Again, hit that thumbs up if you made it to the end of the video. Hashtag Uso. Hashtag Uso. Right down in the comment section. Getting out of here. I'll see you right back here on Saturday afternoon for OTS part number 2, episode 309. See you guys then.